Hello, welcome to Hankins Custom Rifles. I'm Jeff Hankins, and today we have a CVA Apex in the shop. I've had several people ask if I could convert this and use one of my breech plugs in it, and I've told them yes that I could, because this is basically the same platform as a Thompson Center Encore. So I had a guy send me one that's already been converted. It's got a breech plug in it that shoots a 209 primer, and he said that he absolutely hates it. It doesn't go off when he pulls the trigger, and when it does go off, he gets a lot of blowback and soot coming back through the primer seal. So he sent it to me to be converted. We're going to do that today. My first impression of the gun is that it looks like it's a pretty nice rifle. It's solid, it feels good. Got a good barrel on it. It says Bulgara barrels here. Black powder firearms. It's a 4570 government. Now I already looked at the crown. I inspected the crown, and you can visually see that that crown is off center. Does that make a difference on shooting? Some people says it doesn't. Some swear it will. I say get it centered in the barrel and don't have any doubts whether it makes a difference or not. But that is definitely off center. You can see the counter bore on that. That's pretty bad work, really. But we're going to straighten up the crown on this rifle too while we got it in the lathe today. And I'm going to disassemble it, take the breech plug out, see what kind of threads we have in there, and then I'm going to chuck it up in the lathe and we're going to put my breech plug in it. Hey guys, we've got the Apex disassembled. It's pretty straightforward on how it comes apart. All you have to do is drive out the connector pin right here, and it pretty much comes right apart. Now, upon inspection of the breech area, I have found that the inside of this breech is extremely rough. I don't know what they used to cut that out with. I can't even imagine how they did this, but I'll show you some of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but when you put the optivisor on where you can magnify the inside of that about 3 times, it really shows up the defects in there. So let me swing around here and see if you can't see some of the defects that's in this barrel. If you look down in the hole, you can see inside there where the metal just kind of looks like it's just ripped out. It's not a good, nice, smooth cut like it should be. And if you could look all the way down to the shoulder in there, we've had some guys talk about their shoulders where the breech plug actually seals being extremely rough. Well, this is a fine example of one in there being rough. Now, if I put this magnifier over it, I don't know what's going to happen if it makes it better or worse. And I don't guess it's going to help you guys see in there at all. I wish you could see it, but I don't guess you can. But anyway, it's pretty daggone rough in there. I don't see how you would get a seal when you screw a breech plug down in there. Now I'm going to show you the breech plug that was installed in this gun. These burrs you definitely will be able to see. If you look at the edge of that plug right there, and you can see this burr on the edge. That's sticking up 30 or 40 thousandths of an inch. It's just a big old burr. Then right here where the hole goes in, and they have threaded it for the vent, they didn't even come in and chamfer that hole off or remove any of the burr off of that hole. So when you tighten your screw down, your vent screw, there's no way you can get a seal with the head of that screw against the surface of this plug. And you can see the saw marks in the plug where they cut it off with a power hacksaw, bandsaw, or whatever they used in their shop to cut that plug. They didn't even machine enough of the plug down to remove the saw marks. Then if you can look down here around the edge of this plug, you can see the crappy marks, the gouges that's in this plug. You can see that big gouge right there. And Kind of hard to line that up, but they're there. This is very bad machine work. I think you'll probably be able to see the burr all the way around the whole edge of the plug where they didn't do a very good job machining this plug. Very bad work. You can hear my fingernail grabbing onto that burr. That should be nice and smooth. A kind of a deburred radiused edge right there, just very so slightly. Now, this plug, I'm not going to say who makes these plugs, but they're the people that make the stainless steel modules that you can use with large rifle magnum primers. And then here's your little bitty vent that goes in the end of this plug. This is just a stainless steel vent, real soft metal here, and you can see that it doesn't even screw all the way down on the plug. Pretty crappy in my opinion, but anyway, let's get over there and we're going to set this up in the lathe and I'm going to put my plug in. Now my plug is 5/8 18 threads, and this plug is a 9/16 18 it looks like. So I do have to remachine the whole barrel, so that's a good thing. I'm going to clean it all up and make it like it should have been made the first time. When you're building rifles, precision work is where it's at. If you can't do precision machine work, you shouldn't be machining and building these rifles. So that's all I'm going to say. Well guys, we got the breech plug installed. The machine work is done. Here's the breech plug that we're going to put in the rifle. And I don't know if you can see in there the machine work. It's a little, or I should say it's a lot better than what we had on it. Everything's nice and clean. There's no burrs. It's been polished off with a piece of 400 sandpaper. I remachined the crown, put a little recessed crown in there, and I had to do the recess. I was just going to put a 11-degree crown on it, but with the way they had already crowned the barrel, I did a little recessed crown with about 14-degree taper to it. So all that's left to do now is to reassemble the rifle and put the plug in. We'll take it outside and I'm going to shoot a few shots out of it. See how it does. But it's real simple to put the plug in. Just screw it in, tighten it down, put a little anti-seize on it. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the rifle and we'll take it outside and shoot a few shots to it. Okay guys, we're about to finish up this Apex project. I'm around the back side of my gun shop. I'm underneath a little lean-to that I have built back here for storing junk in and lawnmowers and stuff like that. So it's raining and I decided to come back here to shoot this gun a few times. We don't have the scope on the rifle, so we're not really shooting it at all for accuracy wise. We're shooting it for function. And what I've done is I've sized some Parker bullets. These are their 275 BEs. I sized a few of them. I've got some pre-measured powder charges ready to go. And I brought out 5 primer holders. So let's go ahead and load one of these up. I've got the breech plug in it with the bushing. Got a no 30 thousandths bushing in it. Let's go ahead and load one up and see how it does. This gun's pretty short. I almost have to stoop over to load it. Put a 275 BE in here. I sized those down so that they'll fit pretty easy. So you just crack it open, take the little primer module, put it in place, and we're ready to shoot this gun. seems like it shoots pretty good. Had some good little recoil. I'm shooting 55 grains at 41.98. I've got a friend of mine that's shooting the same conversion with my plug, and he shoots 60 grains, but I decided to test it with 55 today. Now, these guns come with an ejector in the barrel, so that when you open the gun up, the ejector would pop this primer out, and you could catch it in your hand, just like on the Thompson Encore and the H&R 4570 that I did the conversion on. But when this guy sent this barrel up to be converted, they took the extractor out of it. So we're going to have to use a little screwdriver to pop these loose. So all you got to do is gently use a screwdriver to pop that seal loose, and they'll come right out. Not a great big deal, other than you do have to carry the screwdriver with you in the woods. But if this guy has the parts, we can easily put those parts back in there, put the ejector in, and problem solved. All you'll have to do is open the barrel and the ejector will pop that loose. So let's shoot another one. 275 BE with 55 grains. I can see out there in the hillside where the bullet hit. Put another primer in. Close it, and we're ready to shoot. Okay, that was another good shot. That's a pretty good recoil on it. Even with 55 grains. Another bullet. Now, to get that little primer module out with this particular rifle, like I was saying, you just take this screwdriver and just easily pop it loose and it'll come out. Just break the seal and it'll pop out of there. So we'll put another new one in. I like the trigger on this gun too. It's set pretty good. It can't be more than 3 pounds. Okay, we've got 2 more shots to shoot out of it. I like to size these bullets where they're easy to put in the barrel. There ain't nothing worse than being out there in the woods and trying to really just jam a bullet down in the barrel and got everything you can do to push down on your ramrod. If you've got gloves on, your gloves keep sliding down on the ramrod. It just makes it so much easier when you're out there and you want your gun to perform. You want it to work like you designed it to work. With a muzzle loader, you're supposed to wait for that perfect shot, because you only get one shot. We got somebody out there now that's trying to build a breech plug system that you can stack all the primer modules up in the magazine, and all you got to do is close the bolt and open the bolt and close the bolt and open the bolt. We're not building semi-automatic muzzle loaders. You know what? How much easier can this system right here be? your powder charge is right on top of your primer, and my guns fire every time. Now, I'm going to turn the camera out there so that you can see the bullet hitting in the dirt. You can still see it out there, even though we got some rain. Let's see if you guys can see. I'm going to shoot into that hillside in front of that big stack of railroad ties. So be looking for the dust to fly up, or the water to fly up, about 50 yards in front of, looks like a white milk jug out there. Oh, we'll shoot about 50 yards in front of that milk jug. Okay, I think you guys could probably see that. I saw it. And it turned out pretty good there for me. Okay, now we've got one more shot for this rifle. I'm going to go ahead and take this primer out. You don't have to pry it completely out with the screwdriver. You just got to pop it loose because it seals in there. When you shoot the gun, the pressure seals the brass against the breech plug, which is what creates my seal, and that is why I get 100% seal. There's no blowback, there's no black soot, no smoke, powder residue. Your scope won't get burnt like it does on all the other plugs. The 209s, they put a black smoky residue on your scope that eventually turns white. If you have that underneath your scope, that's what that's from. That's from the smoke coming up, burning your scope. And to solve that, you go with one of my breech plug and primer systems. Let's shoot this one more time. I'll turn back out there again. Right there's where I've been hitting. You can see the spots in the ground. See if I can hit the same spot again. Okay, I shot that one a little lower than the others. There we go. There you go, guys. That's a CVA Apex converted. If you've got an Apex, or if you want to get an Apex, let me know. I'll get you the Apex. I'll sell it to you at cost, and I'll do the conversion. The conversion on this gun is going to run $350. That'll get you 2 breech plugs without a bushing in it, and 25 priming modules, and if need be, I'll re-crown the barrel. That's $350 plus the cost of the gun, return shipped back to your house. So that's a good, quick, cheap, easy way to get into this smokeless muzzleloader. 55 grains of powder, probably shooting that bullet out around 2,500 feet per second, I'm just going to guess. Maybe not quite that much, but it'll be real close. And it's a good little walking, lightweight, something you can pull up and shoot quick. That's a good woods rifle. So, CVA Apex 4570, got a Bulgara barrel on it, It seemed to be very consistent with a bullet going down. I sized these to fit the same size that I shoot out of my Krieger barrels, and they went right in that barrel. They fit good. So I think this would be a great little entry level smokeless muzzleloader, or a cheap gun, somebody that's only got a couple days a year that they can use a muzzleloader. This would be the way to go. I hope you guys enjoy the videos, and if you need anything, just let me know. I'll try to help you out the best I can. Visit my website at hankinscustomrifles.com. Thanks a lot, and see you later.